Stop scrolling and let's spend a minute in the Bible together. When I was a kid, I used to always complain to my parents and say, I'm so hungry. And they would say to me, have a piece of bread. Of course, I would then say, well, I'm not that hungry because what I really wanted was junk food. But if I was actually hungry, I would eat the piece of bread. Why? Well, because bread is kind of a basic food that fixes the problem of hunger and keeps you alive. We're in John chapter 6, and Jesus has started to get a pretty big crowd following him around. In fact, he actually has 5,000 men following him at this point on this particular day. And that means there probably would have been a whole bunch of women and children there too. And they've been with him all day, and it's starting to get late, and Jesus realizes that these people are going to be hungry. And so he tells his disciples to feed them. Of course, they don't have enough food for 5,000 people. And so Jesus says, gather up whatever you can find. And they bring back 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, which is nowhere near enough to feed all the people. But then Jesus performs another miracle, another sign that points towards who he is and why he's come. He prays and he tells his disciples to break up the food and hand it out, and there is enough for everybody. In fact, there is heaps left over. You might be wondering what this miracle actually teaches us about Jesus. Thankfully, a little later in the chapter, Jesus tells us. In verse 35 it says, Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. So what does Jesus feeding the 5,000 teach us about him? Well, the bread in that story pointed forward to how Jesus is the bread of life. Bread fixes the problem of hunger and gives us life. But Jesus, he fixes the problem of sin and gives us life forever. Jesus is the bread of life.